Good morning, Britannia, and hello to the rest of the world. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Brief, which comes to you guys every day at 11 a.m. UK time with the latest headlines of the day and a summary of the top stories that you might have missed overnight. Let's talk about what we are going to be focusing on today. First things first, we're going to talk about the latest attack that happened last night in Germany at a festival of diversity with a stabbing attack. We're going to talk about that first, and then we're going to focus on the JFK Files following RFK Jr.'s decision to endorse Donald J. Trump for the President of the United States. President Trump decided to make a big announcement regarding the JFK Files. And of course, we're going to talk about another historic scandal within the BBC with the drivers, who some of them apparently liked children. It's not really a surprise, but another shocking revelation. And of course, the England flag crime. Yes, a teenager has now been in trouble and been arrested. James Martin has been jailed for waving the English flag outside a certain place. Let's start by talking about the first story, which is from last night in Germany. Solingen, a city in the western part of Germany. Unfortunately, 3 people have now lost their lives and 8 people have been injured in another stabbing attack that is escalating across the western part of Europe, from the United Kingdom to Germany and other places. The police are still searching for the suspect, and they haven't really given us full information on the identity. There have been some eyewitnesses and rumors going around saying he was speaking Arabic, but we don't have the confirmation on that yet. As this was the 650th anniversary of the city's foundation, Solingen, and this was a festival of diversity, which ironically didn't really show any harmony or unity. The police have said that people in the city centre should be careful. Anyone who sees a suspicious person should immediately call 110 and not speak to them. Now, of course, we'll keep you guys posted throughout the day on Tousi TV if we get more information regarding this story. Now, let's talk about the JFK Files. Last night, we reported that RFK Jr. came out to endorse Trump, and he decided to withdraw his campaign from 10 of the battleground seats, the marginal seats, target seats for Trump, to help him beat Kamala Harris. Trump, in return, made an announcement in regards to the JFK Files. He promised that once he's president again, he's going to be doing some digging. 4,700 files tied to the case remain partially or heavily redacted more than 60 years later, which is a little bit abnormal because after a few decades, usually they reveal more of the sensitive information that they were holding secret at the time. Trump said about RFK Jr. that I know because of what everything has been going on, because he also went after me a couple of times. I didn't like it. I think it's going to have a huge influence on this campaign. Now, the Kennedy family are not too happy about RFK Jr.'s decision, and they have condemned him as a family member because he's supporting a Republican. How dare he? Now, let's go back to the United Kingdom and the BBC. So BBC have had these chauffeurs and drivers for decades, and Niven Sinclair and obviously the company and everybody else that were helping to find more drivers. Niven been serving the BBC for 30 years, but paid millions of pounds from taxpayers' money. Now, Sinclair was giving services to the BBC from the late 70s to at least 2006. Now, over the last few decades, there have been a number of scandals, not just when it comes to Jimmy Savile, but many others as well that have not been named, and there have been a number of cover-ups by the establishment, the BBC and everybody else. Now, according to the court documents, 15 of the offences related to sexual abuse of children, including one child completely being raped at gunpoint. Sinclair served several years in prison. Usually they throw one person under the bus to pretend that everything's fine, but those historic problems continued and continued. Now, let's talk about this country, England. A teenager who waved the England flag near an Islamic centre in North Yorkshire, has been jailed. The 18-year-old James Martin was jailed for 2 years and 2 months after the incident on the 8th of August in Scarborough. Judge Morris has said that this calls for an immediate prison sentence. There has to be an element of deterrence so other young men aged 18 in work and with no previous convictions realize that actions have consequences, whether online or on the streets. The court will keep the peace by deterring others from such actions. Now, of course, the main focus was on the flag of the country being waved outside the Islamic Center, but some of the people close to the Islamic Center were also saying that he was threatening them and he was being intimidating and everything else. But this is the state of the country as we know it in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the latest headlines for you guys from our morning brief, which comes to you guys every day at 11 a.m. And we also have the debrief in the evening called Tousi at 10, which comes to you guys every day at 10 p.m. UK time. And throughout the day, we're going to bring you guys all the breaking news live streams as usual. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.